Let's see, grep Alaska all files. Ugh. Oh, these messages are annoying. So I can suppress those annoying directory messages with the -s like this. Grep, grep -s Alaska all files. And that's great, but grep is still attempting to look through all of those directories in the background, which takes up pointless CPU cycles. Because of that, there is a better way that tells grep to skip looking at directories completely. I'll show you that little trick and tell you why, at a large scale, just suppressing those messages is probably a bad habit. Hi, I'm John. I've spent 15 years in IT. I've been a cybersecurity engineer, a cybersecurity analyst, and a system administrator, working with both the military and in the private sector with FANG organizations. I built this channel to make complex tech simple, direct, and approachable, so you can master the command line and become the most trusted and valuable IT professional in the room, no matter where you work. Now first, the nitty-gritty of why you should care about suppressing versus skipping directories when running grep. When I type grep Alaska star, grep attempts to look at all objects being files and folders, in the current directory. When grep approaches an object, it performs its first system call on the object. This is the lstat system call, which grep uses for basic information like, is this a file or a folder? Who is its owner? Do I have permission to open it? Etc. After that, grep utilizes the open system call, which simply opens the file or folder to be read. Then grep moves on to the read system call, which attempts to read the contents of the object. This is where grep chokes if the object is a directory, and it coughs up that annoying "this is a directory" message. It does this because the read system call is not meant for directories. Finally, grep closes its connection to the object with the close system call. Now, if I use grep with the -s option to suppress that annoying "this is a directory" message, grep still goes through all 4 of these system calls on every directory. But if I use grep with a different option, the -d skip option I'm going to show you, grep will skip 3 of these steps, because once it identifies the object as a directory with the first system call, lstat, it will simply stop and then move on to the next object. I am sure you can imagine how skipping 3 pointless steps on every directory encountered can save quite a bit of CPU cycles. Now, let me clear the screen, and let me show you how to use the -d skip option. So instead of -s, we'll go grep -d skip Alaska and all files. That's it. Nice and clean. Now, you may say to yourself, hey, I don't care about the extra CPU cycles. It's all transparent to me because it happens so fast. Well, that is a good point. However, when you're running grep across an entire folder that is very large with many subdirectories, you could run into issues with slowdowns. Additionally, I've worked with complex production Red Hat servers which housed Splunk indexers. These were very important systems that always had to be up and running and whose CPUs were always very, very busy. So any work I did in a terminal on those systems had to have minimal impact on system resources. A third reason is that everything is in the cloud now, and some cloud subscription models use CPU cycle consumption as their pricing model. This means that the more CPU cycles you use, the more you are charged. So running resource-heavy grep searches on a regular basis could be a bad thing. So there you have it. Not only are you learning how to avoid annoying messages in grep, you are also learning how to run grep more efficiently. This is what really separates the hobbyists from the pros. If you know of someone else that would enjoy learning this efficient method for grepping, please share this video with them. And thanks for hanging out with me.